there! Hello everyone, vítejte. I am John and I am from Czechia, and today I will be checking out American things Europeans find weird. Oh boy, this one is gonna be good. So apparently a lot of things are different over the Great Pond in the United States of America, and I just want to see just how many things there are, so let's check it out together. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and now.
If you've ever seen Quentin Tarantino's hit movie Pulp Fiction, you'll know it opens with a scene in which Samuel Jackson shows his surprise regarding the legality of cannabis smoking in Holland and the fact that the French eat their fries with mayonnaise. Ugh, is his reaction to the use of such a condiment. Well, we can tell you ugh works both ways, and there are plenty of things Americans eat, believe, and say that Europeans find plain weird.
That's
Today,
why I'm here.
We'll look at some of those things. In this episode of the Infographic Show, American things Europeans find weird.
Let's get it.
Subscribe and click the bell button so that you can be part of our notification squad. We'll stay with food and restaurants for the time being. As we've discussed in other shows, not everyone in the world is so draconian about tipping. In fact, in some parts of Europe, throwing a buck on the counter after receiving a cold beer would be totally insulting. In many European countries, tipping in some situations can be seen as charity. When visiting the US, many Europeans...
When it comes to tipping, it's just, hey, the beer is like 28 crowns, so you just... You put the money on the counter and you say 30, and it's okay, I don't know how it works in the States. Apparently there's like this percentage kind of stuff. But if you're in a restaurant and you pay 500 crowns for a meal and you just straight up pay 500 crowns without any tip, it's gonna be okay, trust me. So let's move on.
Many Europeans might find it weird that a waiter or waitress keeps coming back to your table. In the States, it may be seen as just good service, but to some Europeans, it could be construed as someone getting in the way of a good meal.
That woman on the left is absolutely me. So over here, you get your drink, you drink your drink, and once you're finished, the waiter usually sees that and he offers you if you want another drink. But if he just kept coming to the table and be like, hey, do you want a refill? Hey, do you want a refill? Hey, do you want a refill? I would be like, just no. Let's move on.
Meal, by the way, could be about 3 times larger than many people in Europe are used to. In general, American food portions look to some Europeans like they're supposed to feed 2 people. It may also seem like an act of largesse to some Europeans when someone keeps refilling their glass of soda or cup of coffee for no extra cost. In terms of the food itself,
well, imagine going on a date and just saying, hey, yeah, 1 meal will be enough. And then you realize that the girl is actually vegan and you ordered a big fucking steak. Date over. Let's move on.
As we noted earlier, Americans and Europeans have very different ideas about what goes with what. Pancakes for breakfast with fried chicken? Are you kidding me? Says the traveling
that just
European.
Sounds like insanity,
and what about putting
okay?
honey on bacon for breakfast? The Frenchman wanted mustard with his sliced beef and tasted something not like mustard, but a sweeter version with less bite.
What?
The Italian went to Chicago and in one restaurant ordered a pizza, only to be served what he thought looked more like a quiche or a cake. So,
who in the right mind would put strawberries on a pizza? Pizza with strawberries, pizza with pineapple, pizza with bananas, I saw that. It is all evil that has been sent to Earth by aliens to destroy us all. And you cannot change my mind. Alright.
What about when Europeans head to the store? Again, the rather affable smile and general friendliness of staff may seem strange to someone from grumpy England, where service with a smile is certainly no guarantee. In fact, it's been remarked that American friendliness can result in some Europeans thinking something suspicious is afoot. If that European
So I do not mind if the cashier is not like, here is your cash, thank you so very much and have a beautiful day with your family. It's like if you have to keep this mask of happiness on your face all day long, you're gonna go insane, okay? 3, 2, 1, let's go. Move on,
in the store to buy a pack of cigarettes or a bottle of wine, they may be extremely surprised when they get asked for ID, as that might not have happened to them for over a decade or 2. On top of Europe mainly having laxer laws on age restrictions, IDing people is not such a big deal as it is in America.
So I remember when I hit 18, I ran into the store and I was like, cigarettes. And she was like, 18? And I pulled out the ID and was like, hell to the yeah, baby. But do tell me, where is the logic when you see that person with scruffy old beard and gray hair everywhere? Why would you ask that person for ID? Logic went out of the window and shit itself. Let's move on.
In July this year, Oasis frontman Liam Gallagher said he was ID'd in the US after trying to buy cigarettes. He tweeted, "I've just been told I can't buy cigs unless I got ID. I'm 40 freaking 4. Has the world gone mad?" Indeed, in his home city of Manchester, he'd probably been buying his smokes for 30 years without a problem. And then the European looks inside his or her wallet, only to see a bunch of notes that all look the same, all the time wondering how this could possibly make any sense. The good thing is, in America, you can pay with plastic just about anywhere, which is something many Europeans are still not used to. They may also be unpleasantly surprised to find out when they do buy something, taxes get added on top of the price they saw.
That is also something that I find super illogical. Like when you buy stuff, one of my friends told me, who was in America, she told me, so you see a thing, you buy the thing, and then at the cashier, you just see that it's a little bit more expensive because tax. Why do you not just write it down how it's gonna be, when you get to the cashier immediately? Is it really that hard? Like, there might be a reason for that, but why make things easier when you can make them more complicated? Let's move on.
Try and get back to their hotel, but have to ask the way. They are told to walk 6 blocks this way and turn left. Only for some Europeans not familiar with the US, giving someone directions using blocks may seem weird. Parts of Europe were not built with city blocks in mind and just gradually spread in a way that makes it hard to find your way around.
But I think people would understand
either way. When they finally
do
get back, they settle down to watch some TV, only for some reason the shows are interspersed with commercials that seem to be longer than the actual minutes given to the actual content. This drives some Europeans crazy. At some point, they might come across World Wrestling Entertainment.
So when it comes to commercials, the commercials here are already like super long. I don't even watch TV anymore. I watch YouTube and that is all. But in the past, it was like, a couple of minutes, maybe 2 times in a movie, and right now, you're like, why is there a movie in the middle of my commercial? Moving on.
And be quite confused at how some Americans can get so worked up about what to them looks like an act with an ending already scripted. You may have to be an American to enjoy that kind of drama with such passion. Turn over to the news, and depending on the channel, this may also look something like a drama or a soap opera to a European. They may easily believe they are watching a news satire. One of the great things in America, though, for some Europeans at least, is the fact that some things are open 24/7. Can't sleep? Just go out. Shopping hours are relatively quite restrictive in many European nations, but in most places in the US or near a big city, there is always something to do or buy in the middle of the night.
Holy crap, that would be so good. Like, I remember I was in Prague and we were wandering around the city for so long before we found one KFC that was going on 24/7. There wasn't anything else open. It was super desperate. I was like, I'm so freaking hungry and tired and thirsty right now. Nothing is open. Why is that? So I would absolutely welcome this with open arms.
Europe, the BBC reported that London, England, and 6 cities in Spain were the better 24-hour cities. Now we'll visit the sensitive issues of religion and patriotism. World Atlas puts America at the top of the list as the most Christian nation in the world. In the US, on any given day, you might hear the word God or at least see signs pointing to where you might find him. While parts of Europe are also predominantly Christian, the omnipresence of God in the streets may seem a little overbearing to many of these nations that have forgone church duty. It's the same with flags everywhere. You won't
Before we get into the flag thing, Czechia is actually the least religious country, or one of the least religious countries in the world, I believe. But one of my friends who was in America, she actually showed me a video from a church, and I was like, this is a church? It's a freaking straight up concert, and it actually sounds great, the lyrics obviously are very religious, but it's just very modern. And the churches in here, you just go in, there are these old guys in their gowns just doing this. Kind of smells like Middle Ages in there, and it's just kind of boring. So when I saw the video from the States, from the church, I was like, damn, this is actually something I could get behind. Let's move on to the flags.
So far in America without seeing the stars and stripes, whereas in Europe, flags are usually designated to the top of poles outside of official buildings.
Alright, so let me show you the house that is just across the street. I'm just gonna plug it. Let's get okay. So as you can see over there, so on the left you have the Moravian flag, and on the right is the Czech flag. I don't know why the dude has it in there, but you know what? It's his thing. But yeah, I remember going into Google Maps and I was like, there are flags everywhere, man. But in my opinion, that's absolutely okay. It doesn't hurt anyone, so why the hell not?
One planted in a garden may induce a traveling European to believe that he is at the house of a hardcore nationalist, not just someone who is proud of where he comes from. Interesting side note, the 2014 survey revealed the most patriotic country in the world was Thailand, closely followed by the USA. While it may not seem too weird for Europeans, the fact that some people in the States carry firearms might be scary. Per capita, more people in the States own guns than any other country. While most cops in Europe do carry guns, it's unusual to see a cop in England, Scotland, or Wales carrying a gun.
Well, Czech policemen definitely carry guns around, and I think that's absolutely reasonable. But for, a lot of people to be carrying those just on the streets, I would not feel comfortable in those streets, okay? And honestly, I wouldn't want to live in a country where you have to carry a gun around to actually feel safe. But yeah, let's move on from this topic.
The fact that regular Joes might be carrying a firearm seems fairly weird to many Europeans.
Yep,
it might
super
not
weird.
seem so strange to Serbians, who also have a high rate of guns owned per person.
Well,
Size
those guys,
also matters to Europeans when traveling in the States. In America, everything just seems bigger, and not just the aforementioned dishes. The roads and streets seem larger for the most part, and if you don't have a car, it can seem hard to get anywhere, especially in a place like LA. The cars themselves seem a lot bigger, large enough to crush Mr. Bean in his Mini, and the people inside them also seem big on average, if not taller, then wider on average.
So my friend actually sent me some photos from the mall, and I was like, these things are huge, and I wasn't looking at the But yeah, no wonder obesity is a problem in America, especially with these huge portions and so freaking many fast food chains. Let's move on.
Skyscrapers are taller, and in general, American houses statistically have a lot more space than the average European house. One survey stated that the Danish had the most living space in Europe, still much less than Americans, but much more than the Brits, that to Americans might seem their whole house is smaller than their basement.
Houses are
it may not be that weird, but one might ask why everything is so big in the US. As for appearance, some Europeans may find the amount of Americans that are continually decked in what looks like gym wear a bit strange, as most are not going to the gym. Other styles that are mostly an 80s thing but seem to have stayed around a little are the big hairstyles on some older American women. Big lips and big breasts may also be a fashion weird to some Europeans, while in the USA the president still seems to sport a fake tan.
Nobody's gonna think this is weird, okay? I don't think that anybody's gonna really judge you about wearing gym clothes or even about, the crazy hairstyles. I mean, let's be real, But if you ever end up in a Czech village, you will see a lot of these worn out shirts and sweatpants. Adidas, baby. Moving on.
On the positive side, Americans all seem to have such perfect white teeth, quite different from those Brits. This was hilariously depicted in an episode of The Simpsons in which the Big Book of British Smiles horrifically demonstrated the apparent lack of dental hygiene in the country. So, what do you Europeans...
Interesting, dental hygiene, and yeah, it's always like this American smile thing, like one of my friends used to do it like this. And we were always like, they have such perfect teeth. How do they do that? Especially with all those, burgers and huge portions and stuff like that. It's like, how do they do that? Do they have such insane dental hygiene that they just, they just keep it that way, naturally? But no, they just go to a clinic to have them whitened, and I think like braces and stuff like that, absolutely okay. But some people go as far as they have their teeth even cut down, filed down, something like that, and that's kinda crazy if you ask me. But all in all, in the end, it's your body, so don't let anybody tell you what you can or cannot do. So yeah, those were the American things Europeans find weird. There's a couple of more things that I wanted to mention real quick. First thing, shoes in houses. Just no. No. American healthcare, literally the laughingstock of everyone around here. And apparently when someone asks you how are you doing, you're not supposed to answer. That is extremely illogical to me, because just the question itself, the person is trying to find out how are you doing. And one more thing, vacation days at work, you deserve them, I deserve them, everybody deserves them. I have 3 weeks of paid vacation. Everybody deserves a vacation. So take it if you feel like it, if you feel like your energy is drained, just when you feel like it, when you wanna go with your family on a trip, just take some time off. Everybody deserves that. But yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to American things Europeans find weird. If there are any more American things Europeans find weird, or if there are some things, if you're from America, that you find weird about us Europeans or about us from Czechia, or if you want to ask anything about, living in Czechia, living in Czech village actually, because I live in a village which has like, I don't know, 400 people, something like that. I'm planning to do some outdoor content as well, so feel free to subscribe if you want to see that, and also leave a thumbs up if you did enjoy this video, and I will see you next time. Cheers!